This is Jason, and I am here with Chris Clemence, I guess, still a solo artist?
Actually,
Again?
I am, but I have a new band that I'm pretty excited about called Bad Blood. We're about to put out our first record.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So, we will get into that, but first we gotta have some whiskey, because this is Talking Neat.
I don't think we have enough whiskey here, man.
I was looking at it, and I mean, it all depends on who I'm with, so
What should we crack into first?
it's always good going with Elijah Craig.
All right, let's give it a try.
Nice Kentucky bourbon. You said earlier you love bourbon.
I'm a bourbon man.
Are you neat, or do you want...
Well, it's Talking Neat, so I guess
Okay.
we gotta live up to the name, right? Awesome. Cheers, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Cheers. So Elijah Craig is actually the guy. Elijah Craig in the 1700s was pretty much like the godfather of bourbon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and he pretty much took care of everything. And
That's cool.
yeah,
This is really nice, though. Nice and smooth. And I can see a lot of people drinking it because it's not like one of those whiskeys where you knock it back and get the burn on your chest instantly. And it's not like a nasty aftertaste or anything like that.
yeah. I mean, I love the whiskeys where you kind of get your ass slapped a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't care for that, like, kind of that harsh burn.
Yeah.
I think I get that from like Crown Royal a bit.
Yep.
It's just not my
You find
Jim
that
Beam.
in like
Yeah.
most studios too. So you're like, trying to drag, you're just like, oh, this is terrible. I have to pick up some of that.
Pretty much you can get it at any grocery store.
Right on.
It's pretty much run of the mill.
Very cool.
So your new band, Bad Blood.
Yeah.
So
Exciting times. No, I've been in a bunch of different bands. I was in Adelita's Way, I was in Rapscallions, I was in Screaming Demons. I've worked on a bunch of other people's records as well. Then I was a solo artist for a little bit, and then it kind of morphed and transformed into this band, and kind of I brought in, it's almost like a super group in a way. I kind of brought in like all the best guys that I know. I got Chris Irio from Adelita's Way when we used to play with him. Chad Cherry is the singer. He's from the band The Las Vegas. I got Kenny Borrell on drums and myself on bass. And yeah, man, it's pretty rocking. I'm excited to get the music out there.
mm-hmm. Are you handling a lot of the songwriting?
Yeah, I do a lot of the songwriting. We all work on some stuff together, but I do a lot of it. Me and Chris work on a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Did you start writing some of the music before you had a band? Or did you kind of have the band and you kind of knew what they could do?
I wound up, I got signed to this deal with Extreme Sony Records, and they're like, oh, we want you to make a record, and, they had known me for some of my other stuff that I had done, which were like, big stadium anthems, and they're like, oh, we should make a record like that. So I started putting the team together, and, came up with these guys, and the sound we just got right off the bat was, really killer, and the label was excited on it, so it kind of just naturally came together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I had a few ideas beforehand, but a lot of it we wrote just for this record.
Because I know, like, when people are writing a screenplay, they kind of know, oh, this is only for Jack Nicholson.
Right.
Were you kind of doing a little bit of that?
Yeah, I mean, I had certain like song concepts in my mind, like I want to write a song about this, I want to write a song about that, but then some stuff just kind of flew out as well, unexpectedly, which is always kind of cool to see what just transpires. But and then sometimes too, you have an idea and you think like, oh, it's gonna be one way, and then halfway it changes. So
Yeah, once you bring everyone in.
yep. Everyone kind of puts their own little flavor and spin on it and really makes it what it is.
Mm-hmm. For the past few years, you've kind of been a solo artist.
Yes.
What's the difference in your mind? Because, I mean, you still when you're a solo artist, you're not doing every single part there is out there. You're still working with musicians, but now you're in a band.
Totally.
How's that in your, like, the way you perceive it?
Well, I guess, a band's a little bit different because, you're working with other people who are equal to you and have like an equal say in the process. When you're a solo artist, you're kind of like, you have your vision and, oh, this is how I want it. And you kind of bring in maybe like hired guys or whatever and you're like, play this, play that. In this situation though, all the guys I work with are so phenomenal and so talented in their own right that, we all just kind of bring our own thing to the table, and maybe I'll have like an idea, but what they do with it and what they turn it into is something that I probably wouldn't have done myself, but then it's just like even better.
Yeah, so you take it here and they kind of elevate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what supergroups are supposed to do.
Yeah, man. Well, it's just nice working with, really awesome, chill, talented dudes, and they're just, top of their game, and they're a lot of fun to be in the studio with. And can't wait to get the music out there. It's exciting.
Yeah. Do you feel you've paid your dues a bit? Now you can have kind of that.
Oh, we all have, man. Totally. I mean, we've all been in, bands that have done pretty cool things, and we've all gotten to, go all over the world, and we've all been on the charts and have radio songs, and we've done a lot of it. So, which is great because, we know what it is really about, and the real work that goes behind it. It's not just like, oh, we're in a band, we know what it takes to make stuff happen. So it's not just like a bunch of bright-eyed little kids like, oh, we're gonna be famous or whatever. It's just like, okay, at the end of the day, it's a job, and we put the work in, and hopefully, everyone likes it and we get the results.
Very cool. Ready to move on?
Let's do it.
This is a rye whiskey. Few.
Right.
You familiar with ryes?
Yeah, a rye I really like is Bullet. Have you tried them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have a really good rye.
I'm a big fan of theirs.
They have a pretty good bourbon too.
Yep. They have the orange and the green label.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. We had this one on the last show. First time, and just tastes like lawn clippings to me.
Right on.
It was good though.
It's good. It's definitely a little harsher than the last one.
That's the weird thing about whiskey. I mean, you can have someone tell you like flavor profiles of leather and burnt cigar and iodine.
What are you doing tasting a burnt cigar?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. You're just like, oh, that sounds awful. No, it's the best whiskey ever. And you taste it and you're like, yeah, I guess that's what a burnt cigar tastes like, but this is pretty good.
Right.
And it's just like so weird.
Yeah.
It's like no other alcohol
smoking
has
booze
it.
is good. Like mezcals and stuff. I like this. So what's the story behind this one?
It's made in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's actually a Chicago one. Are you from Chicago?
I'm not from Chicago, but my singer Chad is from Chicago.
Okay.
The band The Las Vegas is from there. So,
Actually, I don't know if they just distill it. I mean, it is rye, and Chicago is pretty much middle America, so they probably do everything out in Chicago.
Right on. Yeah, I'm actually from New York originally.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So how are you supposed to eat a pizza? Like a slice? Are you supposed to fold it? Or is that like sacrilege?
Like a rabid beast. I fold my pizza. I mean, I don't really give a fuck.
Because it's just so big, but
yeah.
Some
New
people
York,
have told me you
the slices
can't.
are like the size of this table.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to, otherwise it gets everywhere.
Yeah, because I was told in New York, oh, if they wanted you to fold it, then they would have folded it for you. Or why don't you just get a calzone?
I don't know who told you that.
People at the pizza place.
Really?
Yeah.
I grew up in New York, man, and I've always folded my pizza. No one gave me shit, so I don't know.
Probably just smelled tourist.
Right. Let's fuck with this guy.
Yeah, that guy right there.
there's so many good pizza places in New York, and obviously Chicago and New York have their pizza rivalry.
Chicago's not even pizza.
Yeah.
It's a casserole.
I remember I was backstage at a red jumpsuit apparatus show once, and I almost got in a fight over who had better pizza, Chicago or New York. Obviously, he was from Chicago. We both had a little too much of this, and we were both hungry, so we were like going at it. And then I don't think there's any good places to get Chicago pizza in LA. So
Yeah, I don't think so.
no, not New York really, for that matter. There's a couple places that do it pretty well, but nothing like New York.
Who do you think has the best pizza out here?
Oh man, well I live in Sherman Oaks, so.
See, I thought the Rainbow had pretty good pizza.
Rainbow's decent, yeah.
And that was...
It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, that was the... I mean, it sounds so weird,
Yeah.
but that's the closest I've been able to find to like
There's
a decent
this
pizza.
one really good spot called Pepe's New York Pizza in Studio City.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's not exact, but it's pretty damn close. So I like going there once in a while. It's pretty good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Where do you get your favorite Chicago pizza from?
I don't have a favorite Chicago pizza. Trick question.
Good answer.
We're not even too deep, man. You can't fool me yet.
Save that question for the end. So, last year you released Revolution,
Yes.
and which was a bit political leaning.
It was, yeah.
Maybe not a bit political. I mean, it was
It
very
is.
political leaning. It was just like
It
in your
was
face political.
Punch you in the face political, for sure.
What has happened with musicians today? Because you don't... It used to be like the journalists. I mean, musicians are artists. They used to just take everything going on around them. I mean, look at the 60s, the 70s.
Totally.
I mean, even the
All
80s.
the
I mean,
protest songs.
yeah, a lot of 80s music, the pop music that they play on the radio was about the Cold War.
Yep.
I mean, disguised as, 99 Balloons by Nino. It was about the Cold War.
You know what I think it is, man? It's everyone these days, in my opinion, plays it way too safe. You know, no one wants to... I mean, you know, granted there are, you know, musicians coming out and, you know, saying stuff, but even today in the news, Taylor Swift came out. And it definitely happens, which is great. I think
she only did that because of Kanye. He's a Trump supporter. I mean, they've just got that rivalry.
Yeah, of course.
They got to keep it going.
But yeah, everything. Well, I'm not even going to get into that with Kanye. But, you know, as a musician, I feel like it's part of your job to inspire people for action, or like what's going on around you. And if you know all this crazy bad stuff is happening in the world, and you feel upset about it, you're going to talk about it, and kind of want to unite people together to do something about it. And that was kind of the whole concept behind Revolution. You know, I got DH from Dead Kennedys, and we did the song together, and he was super on board with, you know, the message, and we tied it to a charity, you know, trying to make positive change for education, healthcare, and equal rights. And yeah, it's like use our music to do something positive. Even some people could just listen to the song and be like, oh, they're just being political and bashing, but it really wasn't about that. It was, we're like, if the current administration and leaders aren't going to do something positive for the people, we have to do it ourselves. So we should band together and help, you know, donate to these positive initiatives.
Do you think like what happened with the Dixie Chicks and Sinead O'Connor in the 90s and early 2000s like really scared musicians away from being political or overly political?
Are you talking about like the Pope incident and stuff?
Yeah, when she
like,
ripped up the picture.
I mean, it could have, like, you know, certain musicians, sure.
You don't really see that. I mean, it's like the most political I see band, like Bruce Springsteen. Oh, don't play my song at your rallies.
Yeah,
I mean that's not being political.
Look
That's
at Danny. Look at Childish Gambino.
yeah.
He's got his new video out, and you know, This Is America, and it's like super political. He does it in like an artsy kind of cool way, which I love the video. I thought it was genius. But you know, I guess it just depends on the artist and what they feel is true to them. And that's fine if, for them, if they're like, oh, don't play my song, that's cool. But I feel like it's a lot more inspiring to people if you have a voice and you have something to say, whatever side of the fence you're on, just believe in it and put it out there and go for it.
Were you afraid of backlash when you released Revolution?
No, and I got a ton of it.
So you enjoyed it?
I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but it was definitely comical for sure. To think people would think I would care, like, oh, you're this, and I was like, okay, buddy, like, keyboard warrior, all right, doesn't really affect me. It's more like, what are you doing for positive change? That's how I'd respond to a lot of people.
Do you think you lost fans?
I'm sure I lost a few, but that's okay. I gained more that were more aligned with what I believe as an artist, and to me, that's way more powerful than someone who's like, oh, I hate you for this. It's like, okay, well then you weren't really supporting me as a individual person anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you got to be true to yourself too.
Totally, and it's so funny too because I was talking to DH about it, like how many like hardcore right-wing guys like Dead Kennedys, and it's like, did you not realize, like, do you listen to their records, like what the lyrics are about, like Nazi punks fuck off and all this stuff? That's like, hello. Good.
A lot of people listen to the lyrics, but they don't know what the hell you're talking about half the time, and they'll be singing along and not really put any thought into it.
Yeah, I think it is cool, like the singers and songwriters who write lyrics that leave it open to the fans' interpretation, where it's not too over the head obvious. Like Revolution was like a super obvious song, but I have a lot of other songs where I know what it's about, but if you or someone else were to listen to it, you might be like, oh, it's about this. And I'd be like, great, that's what it means to you, but I'll never tell you like what it actually means. And that's cool, because then everyone kind of makes the song their own.
Yeah. Now, you won't tell because it's personal or like an inside joke to you?
No, it's because I don't want to ruin that vision of the song for them. It's like, that's what it means to you, and that's what inspires you, and that's why you like the song. Awesome. Who am I to tell you that's not what it means?
Back to bourbon.
All right.
This is Will It, and it's kind of like some kind of bottle distilled or...
That's a cool bottle.
Yeah. I hate to be that guy, but I bought it for the bottle. It caught my eye. And if I'm pouring too little for you, just let me know.
I'll be good. We got plenty left to try.
Yep. I don't know too much about this. Probably my favorite bourbon. I love this one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, super smooth.
Nice. Where are they from?
I don't know too much about this one.
Do you get like whiskey companies sending you all these bottles now?
Actually, I've had a couple offers from some, and still waiting. But
where's the cases?
I know. Actually, whiskey distiller is supposed to be coming in here, I think on Friday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he's supposed to bring a couple cases.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am for sale.
Definitely.
So in the 80s, rock was a lot of fast cars and hot women and a lot of bling, and then the 90s kicked in. And it was basically anti everything in the 80s. And that kind of took forward, except if you listen to rap. And rap kind of took off where rock left off, with the Bentleys and the Mercedes and all that.
For some.
For some.
Because I would say guys like Tupac and Biggie kind of kept it real. They were rapping about, real life issues in the streets and stuff. They weren't all about that. But yes, for a lot of them.
And now, like I see you, and you're doing like photo shoots with the Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Mercedes. You've got a jewelry sponsorship. Is it cool to be like bring that like the rock back? I mean, because I always told people I thought the rappers over the last 20 years were the real rockers because they weren't afraid to like show their lifestyle. They weren't afraid to show this and that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of any of that. It's like sometimes I get haters like, okay, I got nice things and I do things that you probably want to do or be a part of, but if you want to knock me for it, that's on you. But no, I love aligning with, really cool brands, and just like you would with like good whiskey. It's like, would you rather drink good whiskey or shitty whiskey?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any shitty whiskey up here.
Nope, definitely not. But yeah, man, it's and it's cool to work with these brands too, because it's like everyone I work with, I have to not only like their product, but I have to like align with their vision of what it is. I'm not just gonna hop up and I don't know, sell Mentos or whatever, like the new William Henry video did. Like this is their jewelry. I wear it every day, and I always get people complimenting me on it, like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I'm more than happy to be like, "Yeah, man, go check out William Henry," because whether I worked with them or not, I'd wear it.
You were still wearing it.
I'd wear it anyway. So doing that with them is just like a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm taking tequila sponsorships or anything. I mean,
exactly.
It's like
you like
it'd
your
be.
whiskey,
I like
you
whiskey.
Like your whiskey, so yeah. I think it's good to have endorsements and sponsorships, but only with brands that are true to who you are and what you like. Because otherwise, then you're just kind of faking it. Whereas I would promote any of these brands, anyway. Don't tell them that, but it's.
You hear that? You can get them for free.
But it's not a hard sell. It's not like me not being myself. It's just like, oh, this is a fun, cool thing.
Well, to do. Musicians have always, I mean, whether it's a guitar sponsorship, a string sponsorship, a pedal sponsorship, I mean, they've always.
Yeah, just take the product that you love to use.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if you have a platform, sing its praises, and then people will get to hear more about it, and maybe they'll discover something that they like just as much as you do.
I think the kind of the opposite is the worst, because I know a ton of musicians, they'll have like and I'm just picking on BC Rich.
Sure.
But they'll have like a BC Rich sponsorship, but they play like Gibson. And they'll bring out the BC Rich to pose with and photos with, or they'll do a couple songs on stage with early on, so they get the press shots, and then they switch to what they love to play.
Yeah, see, and to me that's
what's fake.
Yeah, and that's like why. That's just like taking a company's money to do something. It's like I would never want to do that. Like all the brands I work with, I use their products. Like I'm with Gibson. All the guitars on my new record are all, Gibson Les Pauls and SGs. I'm with Warwick Basses. I toured and recorded with them for over 10 years now. It's like, don't endorse a brand that you don't. Why would you put your name on something that you don't use?
Yeah.
Just go after something you like, and if they, see that you're that adamant about using your product, they're probably going to want to align with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the true way to do it.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I'm sure you know a lot of musicians who don't do it that way.
Yeah, I'm not here to knock anyone.
Yeah.
But it happens for sure. But it never lasts. I feel like, like yourself, people can see through that. They're just like, oh, you were just holding up this BC Rich, but now you're going and playing Gibson. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And in a way, that actually hurts the brand that endorsed them for that photo, because it's just like, oh, why is this guy going and doing that?
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah.
and it's so disingenuous. Because I mean, so many people look. I mean, maybe not as much anymore, but they look at who sponsored the band, and when they're just picking up a guitar, oh, I want that sound.
Totally. A lot of my gear that I got into when I was first coming up was the exact same way. Oh, what are my favorite bass players playing? What amp is he using? What bass is he using? What kind of pedals does he have? That's how I discovered so many things. And it still holds true today. You know, it's like people look up to their favorite musician or actor or whatever for what they're using, and it's a cool way to discover things.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Waiting on you again.
Sorry, man.
So I really don't know where to go from here because I kind of know just by looking at this one.
We'll get free land if we drink this one, right?
It's mine. It's mine land. Because I mean, this one is
You
just
owe me 2 square feet after we drink a shot of that.
This is the one that's gonna kind of kick you in the ass. But this one is actually, I'm like really interested to try it.
Okay, well then let's do this one first.
I know with like when you drink wine, you always save like the port for the end or the champagne.
Like the dessert kind
of
whiskey?
Because I'm guessing it is because it says finished in cognac barrels.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be a bit sweeter, mainly for that cognac.
Oh, the taste of that barrel?
Yeah, because I mean, cognac's a very sweet spirit.
All right, well then let's finish with the good one.
Yeah, we might have to like rinse out our mouths or something.
With more whiskey.
Yeah, of course. I love this
Just
one.
so you know, when I went in the bathroom, all the mouthwash in there is just whiskey.
Why are you putting your lips on my bottle? Lafroig.
I ain't that drunk.
Not yet. That's always the interesting thing. When editing the video, you can see the audio meter just kind of, it's like a nice slant going up because you just get louder.
Whispering the rest of
I know, just screw everything up. God, I love this one.
That's really good. Yeah, I've had this, not recently, but a long time ago. I forgot that real smokiness to it.
Yeah, the Isla.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Scottish Isla whiskeys are really famous for being smoky.
Really nice. So earlier, before we started the show, you were saying you buy a bottle and you get a piece of land. Like, what's the history?
That's on Lafroig. They attach like a little, kind of like one of these, and it says if you're ever in the area, stop by and you can visit your 1 square foot plot of land for each bottle you buy, and they'll hold it for you. I believe it's for like 25, 50 years.
Really? Can you build on it?
No.
That'd be awesome.
I think they
all the alcoholics of the world show up and they're like, I've got at least 5 acres here.
My goal, I figure I've got enough to build like a small shack.
That'd be cool.
If they'd let me build, and I'll set up there and maybe like
just drink everything.
I don't know. I mean, you've been to Ireland,
Yeah.
Can you join a distillery the way you join a winery and you get free booze?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, because have like a little shack. I mean, you're on an island. You just head down the coast, go fishing for your food.
Memberships or something.
Yeah, go fill up like a little flask or something.
I like that. Yeah, Ireland's a lot of fun. Jameson Factory. You gotta put it on your list when you're ever over there.
I like Jameson.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's one of the whiskeys. It's really good, but it doesn't like kind of kick you in the ass.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's a good like
straight
going out to the bar whiskey.
Yeah. You know every bar is gonna have it.
Yep.
It's always gonna taste the same.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Tried and true.
So now that you're in a band with Bad Blood, Are you going to be releasing songs more mainstream, like through Spotify and stuff, or is everything going to?
Yep. Yeah, the label's putting it out, so they're gonna
So
do
they
all that
control
stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
So no more charity work, because I know you've been involved in
I,
quite a
I
bit of
always
charity.
want to do charity work. I mean, we did Homeless Rock Stars with my other band, then we did Revolution. Like, I think charity work is great, and if we can do something with this record or future songs, like I'm all on board. I think it's part of our duty as musicians to unite people, and if we can help people along the way in that process, super important.
So now, Homeless Rock Stars, what was? Is that just? I mean, because every rock star I know is pretty much homeless. I mean, hey, can I crash at your house? I need a shower. It's been like 2 weeks.
This actually had nothing to do with rock stars or musicians themselves. It was about bringing in homeless people off the street and making them feel like a rock star, giving them, a shower, and new, clean, awesome, cool clothes, and doing like a professional photo shoot with a photographer, and getting their hair all done and styled up. And once they did that, they felt really confident and awesome in themselves. And there's this new being. We had them interview with local members of the community, like local business owners or the mayor or different government officials, and find out what can we do for these individuals who've kind of lost their way. And then based on what they wanted to do, we reconnected them with members of the community to help them, give them a leg up to reintroduce them into society. So like, for example, there was this girl who was really interested in cooking, but she kind of got tied up in meth and was hanging with the wrong crowd.
It's still cooking.
Yes, it's cooking, like Walter White's special, but the wrong kind of cooking. Anyway, needless to say, she was like living in a tent in a swamp. It was just bad. And when she went through that program, she wound up getting a job as an assistant chef because she always wanted to learn how to cook. And now she's working with that chef. She has her own apartment, and she's back on her way. So that was kind of the whole concept of Homeless Rock Stars, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like, it's not a handout. It's not like, oh, here's $5, like go buy something. It's like,
I did my duty.
Yeah, we're not going to give you money. We're going to set you up for success and give you the tools to, put in the work and achieve that yourself. Obviously, there's certain homeless people who are beyond that. They're either crazy or so drug addicted you can't help them, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and some don't want to be helped.
Right. So that's what we had kind of like an interview process to determine, like, can we actually help this person do something?
Yeah.
So we helped who we could.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So are you still involved with them, or?
The charity's still going. I'm not personally involved with them. What we did was we did a song for them, and we kind of helped push the campaign. We did a video and helped spread the awareness. They're still with United Way, and they're doing their thing. But yeah, they're still going. If you want to donate to them, just go and check out their site.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So are you big into charities?
If it's something I'm passionate about, there's certain charities that you could look on. There's like certain lists, like some of them I think are just straight up criminal. They like take people's money and they don't really do too much. So it's always good to investigate the charity and like what they're doing with the funds, rather than like some CEO buying
where it's all going to administrative fees.
Exactly, like some guy buying a third vacation home in the Bahamas. It's like,
or filing lawsuits because someone used the color pink.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to name any names, but there's a lot of charities that unfortunately are like that. So it's important for the people donating to really do their research and make sure that their money and every dollar counts towards what they want to help achieve.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Waiting on me, right?
Actually, I've got a little.
The good stuff.
I hope so.
I think every interview should be like this. There should just be a table.
They
full of
should.
whiskey.
Just go get your own whiskey. I needed an excuse to start drinking during, like, around noon.
Usually you do an interview and it's like a blood drive. They give you like water and
Oh
like a
my
sugar
God.
cookie in the corner, and you're just like, oh, thank you.
You're talking about a sugar cookie? Smell this.
Is it? It's gonna be sweet. Like you thought?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like
It's
a dessert.
Sugary, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
God, it's almost like apple pie.
Oh, that's really good. That's a dessert whiskey right there.
I don't even taste whiskey. I mean, that's like, it's gonna take a couple sips because I still got the Lafroig in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why
Yeah, this one will put some hair in your chest.
yeah,
This one will shave it off.
spank your ass.
Yeah. I mean, all these whiskeys have been really good. What do you think your favorite is out of all of them?
You know what? I think it depends on
The mood.
the mood. I mean, I actually, so far, I enjoy the Brennan.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't drink that like with dinner
Right.
or before dinner. I think it's more of like when you'd have like a glass of cognac type thing. But I mean, this is always
Yeah.
my favorite. Probably this too.
Yeah, this one's super distinct.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know it when you're drinking it.
Yeah. So now Bad Bloods is going to be your first band where you're kind of a family man.
Yep.
Does that change things for you?
Totally. I used to be pretty crazy. I'm still a little crazy, but I used to be pretty.
Always save that personal question for the end.
Yeah.
After you've had a few
And
shots.
now that I got my little girl, definitely changes things for sure.
Mhm.
It's all about her now. She is so beautiful and so cool. Like, I'm so proud of her. She's doing so many cool things already. She's like in commercials with me, and she's like just running around. She's like starting to talk. She's like a year and a few months, and it's just so cool to like watch her grow. And it's like, you know, I don't know. Are you a parent at all, or
Yeah.
You
2
know,
girls.
Yeah. So right when you have your kid, it's like everything just changes, and it's like it's all about them. And you know, I just want to make her proud. Like, you know, I want to put in the work. You know, do the best I can and give her the best of everything. And I don't need her to see me like. I can be a little crazy, but I don't need to be as crazy as I used to be. And you know, just make her have a great life and be happy. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to be able to go on the road for 2 months at a time?
I'm gonna try not to. You know, I've done that for my whole life, and it's great and it's awesome, and I love playing as many places as possible, and you know, seeing everyone come out to the shows. It's awesome, but if I don't have to, I really rather not. I'd rather just go do like select dates in a few spots or big festivals or something like that.
I don't think fans are going to let a band like your caliber as like Bad Blood be Weekend Warriors, though.
Well, I wouldn't really call it Weekend Warriors because we're not going to like the local bar, and, you know, playing.
Right, but I mean,
shit.
going off for one festival date, coming back home. And
Yeah,
that's-
I didn't say one festival.
Oh, okay.
I might do like a month on the road. I could do that, but I used to do like 3, 4, 5, 6 months on the road, and it's like I don't want my little girl to not know who I am. I don't want to be gone from my family and, you know, my lady as well. It's like it's not fair to them. If I have to go on the road that long, then they're definitely coming with. But I also want her to have like a normal childhood too, and you know, have her friends and all that. So yeah, we'll see where the road takes us, so to say. But definitely going to be playing some shows. Definitely some awesome ones. I don't know if it's going to be as many dates in a row as I used to do, but we'll do the good ones, and hopefully we do it in enough cool places that people can make it out and see the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can do.
So fans will still get to see you. It might not be at their local bar.
It might not be at their local bar, but it will be in their backyard.
Yeah. You might have to do a little driving.
Yes. For a bottle of this, I will play your backyard.
I'll take you up on that. I'll throw in a 1 square foot plot of land in Ireland.
I thought it was Scotland.
Scotland. Oh man. Probably the biggest faux pas. Just
About to start some fights. McGregor's gonna
I
show
know.
up.
Pissed off half our audience.
Did you watch that fight?
No, I did. You know what? I stopped watching fights when they started happening, like big fights every month.
Yep.
I just got. They stopped being like heavyweight fights.
Yeah.
At that point. I mean, I remember late 80s,
They
early
try to
90s.
blow it up like it's
Yeah, say what you want about Don King, but he could promote a fight.
Yeah, he could.
I mean, he made
that
it
hair
so
could promote anything.
you'd like go out in the street and no one would be at the grocery store. I mean, you had to be watching that fight.
Yeah.
It was an event. I mean, it was like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It was also a different time though. There wasn't like the internet where it's like, oh, I'll watch it on YouTube later.
Yeah, I'll watch it 60 seconds after it ends.
Because all people want to see is the guy getting either knocked out or choked out or whatever. They don't care about all the other shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I used to watch MMA all the time.
Yep,
and then
right to the phone.
Yeah, and then it just became, it's like I can save $50 if I just watch it 5 minutes later.
Yep.
Like the highlights on YouTube. I mean, all I wanted was the last fight anyway.
That's all they're banking on now is people not having patience.
Yeah. And I mean, it's sad, but
yeah.
And I think that's the way music has gone too.
Mm-hmm.
People know
we
they
don't
do.
even sell records anymore. Mm-hmm. This whole record that we're doing now is all for, music licensing, like, TV, film, sports, all that kind of stuff. Sure, Spotify it'll be on and all that, but it probably will be up on iTunes too, but we're not expecting. I mean, if you do want to go buy it, awesome, thank you. But we're not expecting you to, because you talk to any upcoming adult now, like a teenager, and you tell them to go buy music, and they look at you like you have two heads. They're just like, buy music.
That's my kids, and I feel real like a failure of a parent, because my kids have never waited in line to buy an album. Mm-hmm. They've never bought an album. It's always, Dad, can you get me this? And I call up my whatever contact I have and get them the album. But it's just, I remember waiting in like for Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion.
Yep.
Waited in line for like 5 hours for that album, for it to go on sale at midnight.
Yeah. Now people wait in line for like the Supreme shoes or some other bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I'll say this. As a musician, it's very unfortunate that it's become that way now. Mm-hmm. But I understand it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to be like, go buy music, because it's just not realistic. It's like,
you can't fight it. I mean, the biggest band in the world fought it, and
the biggest band in the world also. Oh, you're talking about Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying U2 tried to insert themselves in everyone's phone, and that backfired on them too. But it's like,
could you imagine a time when giving your music away basically for free, and people would be pissed off?
I thought that was ridiculous. It's like, if you don't
I only have 120 gigabytes, and this took up like 6 gigabytes of my space.
You can delete it.
I had to hit delete once, and it's like you can. It's like you want free music, you just got free music. Be happy.
But the lesson, actually, and Trump should have learned it from you too, because he just did that presidential text to everyone, the emergency alert. I don't know if you got it on your phone.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, right after that, it was like the sound of a million screenshots going off, and everyone was pissed off on Facebook, like, "Oh, he texted me." It's like the lesson learned is people don't like to have stuff shoved down their throat or forced on it. They want to discover it themselves. They want to be the ones to click it or bring it in.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. So it's like, okay, and Spotify, like, I don't condone a lot of what they're doing, but it is a cool way for people to discover music, and if it leads to a new fan who goes out to a show or buys a t-shirt or even just tells a few friends about it, that's positive. That's cool. That's, as a musician, all we can really ask, the power is in the fans. It's like, if we have enough people that like the music and want to do something about it, that's how we get by. That's everything.
Yeah.
It's really about them. Just making sure they have a great time, and we try to give everything to them so they give that energy back to us. And yeah, it's unfortunate the climate of like people aren't necessarily buying songs, but if you look at the music business over time, it's always been, okay, there was the 8-track, and then there was, or the record and the 8-track and the CD, and there's always been a different form, and digital. Now it's just a new time. How do we capitalize on that? That's all it is.
Do you think the record labels are fighting it too much to be able to capitalize?
I mean, they're dinosaurs in so many ways. They're clawing on to the old ways and not realizing. I look at them like Blockbuster. It's like
they really haven't innovated anything. I mean,
it's like
the innovation's been shoved on
them. Here
them.
comes Netflix to just sack the fuck out of you like a linebacker, and you're not doing anything about it. It's like, get with it and change with what's happening, because there used to be 5 major labels, now there's 3. It's just going to keep
consolidating.
That time is over. And it's not even, I mean, radio is still important, but it's not even about that anymore. People, they have, my phone's over there, but everyone's on their phone. It's all about discovering stuff on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. How do you tap into that? Get all the cool kids to check out what you're doing.
How do you get those cool kids, though?
Oh, I don't know. But it's really just, you gotta do what's true to you, and if it resonates with you, hopefully there's other people that are like you, and they see the same thing, they hear the same thing, they're like, oh, that's cool, I like it, and awesome. You don't need to win over everybody, you just need to win over people that know what you're doing and like what you're doing, and if you have like a small dedicated base that's like actually dedicated, you can do well.
Well, I guess that is pretty much it for today.
All right, see ya.
Hey. Actually,
you're like, oh, as long as you leave that one.
You can. Yeah, you can take that one.
I'm just kidding.
Any last words?
I like whiskey.
I hope so. I mean, you just finished quite a bit.
Yeah, it was good. No, thanks so much for having me on the show. It's really fun and cool, and thank you. I'm excited.